Hi, I'm Zoe,
Hi, I'm Greg.
and today we have a really special car as an upgrade to my last video, which Greg watched. He felt bad for me that
I did.
I was reviewing a very clapped V6 Challenger, and he said that is a horrible depiction of what these cars are supposed to be. So we're reviewing the 6.4 liter 392 cubic inch HEMI, and he's going to tell you a little bit about the engine. But first, I'll tell you a little bit about the history. So these were actually made in like 2005-ish, or introduced in 2005, but Chrysler shelved it because they didn't really like the lack of punch, as they describe it, and said that it wasn't really any better than the 6.1. So they shelved it until 2011 when they made their debut. And
Yeah, at that point they put a different intake on it. Their original
from the Ram program, right?
Yeah, because they originally made 525 horsepower with the first one, but the torque was up high. They wanted to get it down lower.
Okay.
So when they put the new intake on it, they got it to 470 horsepower with a lot more torque. A couple of years later, they upgraded it to 485, which is what this is, and pretty close to 500 foot-pounds of torque. I think it's 480 if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, cool.
This one in particular, the shaker, they didn't change their rating for the shaker, so I don't know how much that necessarily adds in and of itself. This has an onboard dyno. I can tell you a little bit about the exhaust, which is a very mild modification, but the onboard dyno reads about 510 horsepower. So how much of that is anything I did versus maybe some underrating, I don't know, but that's about where it sits.
Question. That is so awesome. Okay. And then he already took me for a ride in this, and we're going to play that footage next, but I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the brakes, tires, and the interior before I do that. I'm talking a little bit about the brakes, because these are the stock brakes, right? But
yeah, these are stock, but it comes with the Brembos. This one's 4-piston in the front, and it is 2 in the rear. Cool. But also you can see it sits lower than the V6 and obviously the RT, but about 2 fingers between the tire and the fender there. These tires are a little wider than the ones that came with it. It came with 245s. These are 275s all around, which help. Get old help you can get with these, but it does stick a little bit better than the stock ones. The stock ones aren't that great, but they're still all seasons, but they hang in there pretty good.
Awesome. Okay.
The suspension itself is a much stiffer setup than obviously the base one or the RT, and we saw that, which you'll show in the video. We went around a couple corners where it stays pretty well planted.
Yeah, it does. It is totally awesome. Can't wait to show you guys. Cool. And this car looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the color. Yeah, this is a totally awesome car.
For the front end, just to mention a couple mods this car had is the Hellcat air intake, where the center of this headlight actually goes straight in to the airbox. Factory mod. It's a factory thing on a Hellcat. On this, you can add it if you want. I just did it because people were doing it and said it helped a little. The intake that's on here, the shaker, that came that way. So that's all factory. The high flow air filter, which I guess I got to clean, is also factory. And then underneath it has the Dynamax mini race bullet mufflers, and that's really the only exhaust modification. Other than that, it's factory.
Okay, so you said there's 2 different modes, right? There's Eco and there's Track.
There's Track, Sport, Custom, Street, which is Auto, and Eco, which I've actually gotten on the highway at a solid, let's not say the speed, full highway speed plus a little. It's Jersey. 29 miles a gallon going to the shore in this thing. Yeah.
That is pretty incredible for this car.
Yep. A little over 500 horsepower, 29 miles a gallon is kind of silly in some ways.
Well, that is pretty awesome. And it sounds very epic. Now this weighs what, 4,200 pounds?
4,200.
Okay.
Yep.
And I've heard that you can fit your whole family in here.
It seats 5.
That is badass.
I'm 6'2". I can sit behind me the way the seat's adjusted right now. I'm not saying I want to go to Florida that way. Right. But I can fit.
That is awesome.
But unlike the Camaro and the Mustang, it's bigger. It seats 5. It's not meant to be a full-on sports car. It's the size of an old muscle car, where the Camaro and the Mustang are the size of pony cars, or smaller.
But this is really comfortable. This is awesome. The interior is actually a lot better than the Challenger I went to for my last video, the V6. Like, this seems to just be
Yeah, it's got the
Yeah.
big bolsters on the seats and stuff. The visibility thing is what it is. It's
Mhm.
based on a retro design. So those sail panels back there,
Yeah.
you got to deal with them. It's no big
Yeah.
deal.
Oh, I wonder. I don't. I wonder if these mirrors are a little bit bigger than the mirrors that was in
I
the other one.
think they're the same. I don't think they
Really?
mess with that. Yeah.
Okay, then that might be my perspective.
Nope.
Right
It sits.
Mhm.
I don't know the exact details, but it sits at least an inch and a half lower than the.
Okay, then the other one.
Yep.
Okay.
The suspension's tighter.
Mhm.
It's got Brembo brakes all around,
Mhm.
so it's made for that sort of thing. Plus, if
Mhm.
it launches,
Awesome.
that's about a quarter throttle, so the tires don't
Okay.
have much chance.
Yeah, this
But-
car is awesome. Yeah, it feels a lot less like a boat compared to the.
It's a lot tighter. Yeah,
Yeah.
the regular one is meant to look sporty.
Mhm.
This one will actually back it up.
It feels a lot more purposeful in
Mhm.
design.
Yep. Like it's not a full track car, obviously, but it won't necessarily embarrass itself either.
Mm-hmm. Right, but it's also not intended to be
No.
A car that's gonna kill you through the corners.
Nope.
It's very much a muscle car, but
Mhm.
it's awesome, and I think it looks really great. And this already, even though I'm not driving, this already feels more like it's meant to be a car to drive and not a boat.
Yep. I'll give us a run up the ramp here in a second,
Awesome.
but I will
Mhm.
let these guys get out of the way first because I'm just going to run them over if I do what I'm doing.
Okay, so he's gonna take it on the highway. He's gonna wind
But
it up
just
a little
trying
bit.
We'll be at illegal speeds by the top of this ramp for
Nice.
sure. So
Nice.
ready?
Yep. Awesome.
Now, if you don't want the cops to think that was you, you hit this button.
And now it doesn't sound like that at all, right?
Now it shuts the exhaust valves a little bit.
Really? So the eco mode shuts the okay.
Yep. Nice and quiet. And this is the mode it'll get 29 miles a gallon in.
Nice. Okay. Now there's paddle shifters. Do you ever use the paddle shifters, or
I
is it
don't.
just slower?
Well, professional drivers have taken it around the track, and they can't beat it by shifting it themselves.
Okay.
You let the transmission do what it
Just let
wants to do.
Okay.
Yep. I'll put us back in sport and then track mode.
Cool.
So you can hear the exhaust that open just a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I'll get to this ramp up here. It's a little bit of a twisty ramp up here, which I'll
Cool.
do with a little enthusiasm. But also when you put it in track mode, the steering gets heavy.
Yeah.
Put some weight to it.
Okay. And now this engine, the automatic transmissions actually has a shut-off system, right? In case to protect some of the engine.
If you're shifting it manually,
Either way.
if you're shifting it manually, yeah, it won't let you go past red line or anything.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll protect it pretty well.
Cool.
Let this guy get out of the way a little bit, and then maybe not have to slow down a lot for the ramp. Let's see. It's not my most familiar ramp, so I'm going to be a little more cautious.
Yeah, again, I'm not driving, but these brakes already seem a lot more competent than whatever brakes were on the V6 Challenger that I was driving. But these are Brembos, right?
These are Brembos.
And those are stock for the car.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more popular to leave in, right? And you said the stock exhaust and the brakes.
The only thing that's different on the exhaust is it's got mini race bullets, Dynamax mini race bullets,
the
which
mufflers,
are
right?
which I showed you
Yeah.
the picture of. You can post that, I suppose, which are kind of straight through.
And you said it might be like a few horsepower, a little bit.
They say that it was worth about 10 or so on the forums because guys that race them, I don't race this, but guys that race them were doing that sort of thing. Dyno in it and say that the catback systems made noise but didn't necessarily help anything.
Okay. It's pretty good.
We can head
And
back
now
the
this
other
has
way.
an engine dyno in it, right?
Yes, I can show you that when we get back.
Very cool.
Let's see. Let it load for a second. It is slow to load, but it'll get there. There's your dyno.
Wow. That is so cool.
If it kicks down the gear, it went just a touch over 500.
That is awesome. It is so cool that they have a graph in here.
Yep. But you can do, G meter and all that stuff if you want. So,
yeah.
Not that we're doing anything G's on the highway.
Of course. And do you have tire pressure sensors on here?
Oh yeah.
What tire pressure are you running?
Let's see. That's up here. Roughly 34, 35 all around.
Okay. So like this is not that you track this car, but all of the data. It's like track level data in this car.
Yep.
Not that he tracks it, but
nope.
For performance analysis. This is pretty high tech compared to what I'm used to. I'm totally into this. Oil pressure. That is so cool.
It'll tell you everything.
Wow. That's pretty incredible. Yeah, it sounds really, really epic. So thank you for taking me for a ride on this. This is awesome. And also a lot better depiction of what the Challenger is supposed to be. Because I think the rental Challenger I was in was a little special, a little beat up. So
well, the world's fastest cars are rental cars.
Right.
Yeah, the only way I shift it manually is if you move this over. That's up a gear. And the only reason I ever do that is because it saves a lot of gas in this mode.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't drive it in the street mode or the eco mode because it shuts off 4 cylinders when it's just cruising. So I drive in the sport mode, which leaves them all on, but it shifts at higher RPMs.
Okay.
So I don't have to listen to it doing that thing. But
gotcha.
if I don't want to kill a lot of dead dinosaurs,
right? Yeah.
I just shift up gears to just keep it
in
calm.
The lower RPMs, yeah.
But if I want to, pass, you just knock it over and let it go. We're going to eat that 3 Series.
You said when you drive this in the rain, if you put it in eco, it's fine, right?
Rain's fine either way.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like it's fine if you just got to be real light on the gas. It's very sensitive, and I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Stock tires, it was borderline dangerous. But
man.
Eco mode, I've used for snow.
Okay.
And I've driven in the snow. Eco mode, it dumbs down the throttle a bit, shifts are softer, and it also starts off in second gear versus first.
Really? Okay.
Whereas right now I'm in track mode, where it'll start off in first gear, but it won't go to the overdrive of 8th. It'll stop at 7th.
Okay.
Sport, it'll do all the gears like normal.
Awesome. So he drives this in the snow and the rain.
Yep.
So
it's a daily.
It is a daily. It should be a daily. You should drive this car.
My wife wouldn't let me have 2.
So does this have different suspension than the V6 I was driving?
Oh yes, it's got a couple stages past that. So the V6 that you drove is the base. The RT, which is the regular RT, which is the 5.7, which is a step below this one, has stiffer suspension, heavy duty brakes.
Okay.
This one, stiffer yet suspension, sits about an inch lower than the RT, which already sits lower than the Stouty one.
I can feel that.
And the Brembos.
Yeah, I'm sure that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
The brakes on the other one were scary. I don't know if they were just bad brakes or if they need to be serviced, or these are probably a little bit stiffer, right? Not race car stiff, of course.
No,
but
not race car stiff, but like they will stop. Big time. A friend of mine who was stationed in Germany had one, and he took it on the Autobahn, and he did hit 186 miles an hour in it.
Oh yeah, and you said they were calling it a flying brick, right?
Yeah, because he stopped at the gas station, and all the people with their European cars who don't see these things because they don't sell them there.
Yeah.
Were basically going, "The hell is that? It's like this big flying brick. It went right by me."
Flying American brick, but it is a really, really badass flying American brick.
Yep. It's not sleek. It leaves a bruise in the air. You can go through, get all your gauges in there if you want to flip through gauges, like that one there. Coolant temp, if I go back a little bit, oil pressure, back a little bit more, just gauges you probably have anyway. But as you get further down the line, your voltage, obviously, trans temp, air intake temp. It's a little hot out today. Other than that,
now, can you download this data?
Probably. I've never tried.
Okay.
G meter. It will pull lots of G's this direction. Your engine, which is just going to monitor your, oil pressure and RPM and all that sort of thing. It actually measures your horsepower on this and your torque.
Okay.
Which it also does on the active dyno, which you can see. Here's your shift points. It was in first there, second there, third there,
that
second
is
there.
So cool.
We're in park now, so it's just kind of doing nothing, but it shows you your revs as you were going along with your torque and your horsepower.
That is so cool. And now,
Mhm.
does it store the data, or is it only actively used? Or like, can
It,
you go back
I
to what you?
can, I think if I can download it, I can. But this has, you can
Mhm.
see up here, history
Yeah.
set to 120 seconds. That's
Okay.
as far as it
It
goes.
goes back.
But
Okay.
you know, we got on the highway, it went just a blip
Mhm.
over the 500.
Mhm.
So when you really open it up, it lets
Mhm.
loose. And this here,
Uh-huh.
timers. You want to do 0 to 60, 0 to
Mhm.
100, eighth, quarter, any of that stuff.
That is so cool.
I've never
Mhm.
messed with them because I drive it on the street. But
Yeah. Mhm. Okay.
I
And
know
can
what
you
the.
connect your phone to this?
Mhm.
Like it has like an Apple CarPlay sort of
Yeah, it's
sort
got
of
Apple
deal.
CarPlay.
Okay.
Yep. It's not wireless. It's a
Mhm.
little too old for that, I guess
Mhm.
you should say. It's
Okay.
2018. But I
Mhm.
got the cable in the glove box. Just plug it in,
Awesome.
and that's it.
Cool.
So, you know, your simple
Mhm.
regular phone
Mhm.
cable, and it'll bring up your whole CarPlay menu. One last thing is
Mhm.
SRT mode.
Uh-huh.
And this is where you control all that stuff.
Okay.
It does have launch control.
Mhm.
You can set, which basically you set the RPM for where you
Mhm.
want it to launch at. Hold the brake,
Uh-huh.
hold it and floor the gas, and
And
just
it'll
let her
launch.
loose. Yep.
That is so cool. And then what is custom?
Custom, if you
Mhm.
go back to here,
Mhm.
I can go in here, see how everything's marked track
Mhm.
because we're in track.
Right?
Everything's marked
Mhm.
sport, we're in sport. If I go into custom,
Mhm.
I can pick track transmission, sport traction, sport steering.
That is so
Or I can,
cool.
you know, change
Okay.
the things where it's like,
Mhm.
no, I want this to be track steering, which is heavier, street steering, which is pretty light,
Mhm.
sport, which is
Medium. Okay.
it's Goldilocks. That's the
Okay.
happy medium right there.
Mhm.
I don't really use it much. I drive it pretty much in track
Track.
all the
Okay.
time.
Awesome.
But you can go through all that. Eco mode's in there.
Mhm.
Valet if you want to cut the horsepower when
Mhm.
you're handing it over to God knows who, which
Right.
car guys don't valet, so it's
Mhm.
irrelevant.
Mhm.
But you also have a toggle
Mhm.
at the bottom where you can go
Mhm.
right here where it goes to sport.
Mhm.
Or if I hit this one more time, it'll go to eco where I can
Okay.
just chill on the highway.
Uh-huh.
And of course, that's the button here that gets you to
Mhm.
that instead of doing the menu if you want to do
Okay.
it there.
Cool.
That's pretty much the gist of it.
Yeah. So thank you again for giving me a ride in
Well,
this.
you're welcome.
And thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully we'll be back with something else soon. I don't know if it'll beat this. This is pretty cool, but we'll see. All right. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.